4th grade. It's Miss Frannis, and today we're going to be talking about fiction books. We're kind of reviewing what fiction books are. We're also reviewing on how fiction books are put in the library and how they are organized in alphabetical order. So we have here our spine label, and you're going to notice there's an E there. That's, of course, our everybody section or our short shelves. And then we have the first 3 letters of the author's last name. So Eric Kraft is the one who wrote it. So the first 3 letters are K-R-A. So that is how we catalog and we put our books in the fiction section by the first 3 letters of the author's last name. So it doesn't matter if it is an everybody book or a fiction story, which is one of the thicker books. They're all cataloged and put on the shelves in alphabetical order. And I just kind of wanted to review what fiction books are before we move on to other things. And I love this book, and I think you'll have a lot of fun with it too. Chocolatina by Eric Kraft, illustrated by Denise Brunkiss. Tina loved chocolate more than anything in the world. She loved it more than birthdays, more than roller skating, and definitely more than dried fruit. Everyone called her Chocolatina. When Dad asked, "How would you like your egg, Chocolatina?" Tina always said, "With a bowl of Cocoa Crunchies, please." When the lunch lady asked, "What kind of milk would you like today, Chocolatina?" Tina always picked chocolate milk. And when Mom said, "Tonight we're having fruit salad for dessert," Tina covered hers with chocolate. Tina's health teacher, Mrs. Ferdman, hated chocolate and everything else that children liked. "You should eat only foods that are good for you," she told the class. On special occasions like birthdays or full moons, she gave them all dried prunes. Ugh. Mrs. Ferdman's favorite saying was, "You are what you eat." She would write it on the chalkboard and make the children repeat it every day at the end of class. "You are what you eat. You are what you eat. You are what you eat." One day, during this part of health class, Tina bit off the ear of a chocolate bunny. Then she stood up and said, "I wish that were true." That night, a strange thing happened. When Tina woke up, she felt all stiff. She went downstairs and looked in the mirror. Immediately, she saw why. "I've turned into chocolate!" she cried. "Whatever you say, Chocolatina dear," said her mother from behind the newspaper. "Now hurry up and eat your breakfast, or you'll miss your bus." When Tina got on the school bus, everyone gasped. "Do you mind if we don't sit together today, Chocolatina?" her best friend Patty asked. "My mom would ground me if I got chocolate on my new shirt." After a lonely bus ride, Tina was glad to be in spelling class, her favorite subject. But her first word in the spelling bee was cocoa, and she got so flustered she spelled it wrong. At lunchtime, Jimmy Del Rooney tried to bite off one of Tina's elbows. "I just want a dessert," he told the principal. Recess was horrible. Tina was too stiff to run or jump, so she had to just stand and watch everyone else have fun. When it was time to go back in, her feet had melted to the hot pavement. The other children had to carry her back inside. Worst of all, it was time for health class. Dun dun dun. Mrs. Friedman made Tina stand at the front of the classroom. Didn't I tell you, class? What have I always said? You are what you eat, said the children. That's right. See me after class, Tina. When everyone else had left, Mrs. Friedman began to laugh. I hope this would happen. I hope you would listen to me. I hope you turn into a chocolate girl. Do you know why? Why? Asked Tina, who was shaking so hard she thought she might crumble into a pile of chocolate chips. Because I love chocolate better than anything, shouted Mrs. Friedman. She grabbed Tina, opened her mouth wide, and went straight for Tina's right ear. Just then, the principal walked in. Mrs. Friedman, I was wondering, Mrs. Friedman, what on the earth are you doing? I thought she was a prune, said Mrs. Friedman. The principal walked Mrs. Friedman outside, and she was never seen at school again. That night, safe at home in her bed, Tina cried, a little chocolate syrup tea, or I wish I could be a normal girl again, she whispered. And when she woke up, that's just what she was. Hooray, she cried. I'll never eat chocolate again. Hurry up and eat your breakfast, dear, or you'll miss the bus, cried Tina's mother. On the table was a giant bowl of Tina's favorite super chocolatey cereal. I'll never eat chocolate again, said Tina, starting tomorrow. And she ate it all up. The end. Boys and girls, I love fiction stories because fiction are just that, made up and imaginary or pretend stories. And they just can be so crazy and just make your mind go wild. And fiction stories can also seem very real. And they can be sad, they can be funny, they can be happy. And that's the great thing about fiction books. And just a reminder, all fiction books, of course, are shelved in alphabetical order here in the library. And today, you guys are going to be working on a fiction worksheet here just to refresh your memory on what fiction books are and how do you put them in alphabetical order by the first three letters of the author's last name. So you are going to have to write those call numbers here on those little spine labels that are on the books. So I hope you have fun. I hope you enjoyed our story, and I'll see you next week. Bye.